Elements so that they match the background plate. One of our biggest problems were too many feathers. So not only were we typed like feather janitors, but we were also feather hairdressers. We went in and cut feathers from the bird.
Pluck feathers from the bird, that was one of our major tasks.
For instance, a shot over here that we were working on.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and your little mouse friend.
This is the original into a tuck that was on the upstroke. Then when they render it in digital, it's a subtle thing, but it renders as you would imagine it rendered in reality when it was actually filmed through a camera's lens. This is one of the more complex effect shots. There's a lot of elements that go into making this final product here. This is the original background image. It's just Marlowe. This is one pass. There's several different passes of Marlowe to get specular highlights of sort of the sheen and the wet look. This is like the specular highlights as the water ripples out from Marlowe and the drops in it. This is Marlowe's reflection on the surface of the water. Here's one of the passes used for the drops that she shakes off her body. The water itself has 10 layers, 3 more for the drops. The falcon comes in and changes the water lighting, changes the drop lighting. So it's like a lot of interaction.
Did you really think I wouldn't find out?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and your little mouse friend.
The falcon has very unique patterns on all of his feathers. Every one of his feathers has some sort of pattern, whether it's a teardrop shape or a little stripe across it. 40 or so different patterns that we could apply to the falcon. We created a pattern map, which was a texture map that went over the surface of the bird, and it would basically outline the different areas of the bird that had the different kinds of feathers.
When this film, Stewart gets a digital airplane. They had a prop airplane to start with, and ultimately they replaced the prop airplane for a lot of the shots with a digital version of the airplane. And then later on in the film, he repairs it, and from that point on in the film, it's an entirely digital airplane. The airplane itself has a lot of character. You can see the wing wobbling, pieces wiggling off the side here. Even the wing is shuddering. There were dozens of controls on the plane to cause it to shake. As far as the flight characteristics of the airplane, we had an animator working on Stewart who was an ex-Israeli Air Force pilot. His name was Yair Cantor, and he went around and told us all about
The birthday bird sent the word, here's what he did say. Hot and snow, cannot go, won't get there today. Hey!
There's a tremendous jump between what the animator does and then when the digital department finishes. I just saw this middle scene for the first time today. I was just amazed. Even when the claws come through the wing, the digital department, the little pieces flying out. We did all these little subtle touches, which is amazing. Of course, the wind blowing the fur. You know, even working in this field, when you see something like that, it's like, whoa, it's hard to believe that they can do stuff like that.
It almost seems like everything we're doing on this film now didn't seem very possible before. We used to talk about doing animated movies, and it wasn't rocket science, but the truth is, now
CGI with reflection and fur and feathers, literally the amount of data that you're crunching through a computer is enormous.
My job is to light the shot and to light all our computer-generated elements so that they match the background plate. And this one is actually a combination of several different elements in order to get the background. One is a matte painting that our painting department did. One is a wide shot of New York City, of the harbor. And another one is this foreground of the barge, which was actually shot on a stage with a motion control camera. There's the plane itself. Another stage is deformations. As the plane rolls over, we want it to look like the plane is deforming the cardboard as it moves along. And so if you look closely and imagine that the plane is moving here, you can see the movement of the cardboard as if the wheels are rolling over it. This is what it looks like at the stage when I receive the shot. And so it goes from this stage into here.